So today I want to show you one of my favorite tools in the shop. That is the Stanley 59 dowel jig. Now I couldn't find any exact manufacturing dates for this, but I know that it was available between 1900 and the 50s, maybe even the 60s. Mine is a later model, I believe, and that's just going off the printing from the instructions booklet. It's very 50s. Also, this screw is knurled, which leads me to believe that this is one of the later models. But it's in very good condition, and it is extremely accurate, which is one reason why I love to use it when I am butt jointing two boards. Now I use dowels, and mainly that's to help with alignment if the boards are slightly bowed. So let me show you what I mean. So I'm gluing up a panel that would be the side of a dresser I'm currently making. You can't see this on camera, but the board is just ever so slightly bowed. Really, just a hair. If I push from the back, it lines up perfect. So what I want to do is use my doweling jig to put 3 dowels in here as I line this up, as I glue it up, rather. So to do that, first I take a marking knife. Okay, I'm not a fan of pencil lines. I like marking knives because I think they're more accurate. And my marking knife is shaped like a point and has a flat side, okay? And the reason I like using this is because I can take this point and put it right in the center of these two boards, right at the line, and then press in. And because of the shape of this, it makes a mark on both boards at once. So now that I've made my marks, I'm going to take this board off and I'm going to find that mark, there it is, that I made. Then I use my square, I find the mark, put my knife in there, and I make a deeper line. Now I have my 3/8 inch guide already installed in the jig. This guide is number 6. I don't know if that'll pick it up, if you see that. So then I go to my scale and I find number 6 over here, and I line that up with 1/2 inch, which is the middle of that board. So then I find my line I made earlier, right here. I plop the jig on, and the reason why this jig is so accurate is because of this. Let me zoom in here for you. This beautiful, crisp line on the jig. It's just about the same size as my knife line, and I'm going to line that up with my knife line. And now I'm going to drill my hole. So I've put a depth stop that comes with the jig on my bit so that I will not go further than I want to. And then I'm just going to drill my hole in the side of the board. And there's one perfect hole. Now I'm going to do that on both ends. So my dowels are 3/8 of an inch, which is about 9 millimeters. I made these last night out of an old arrow shaft using my dowel plate down here and electric drill. Since the dowels are smooth, I want to have a groove for the glue to be able to squeeze out. So I'm going to take a carving V-gouge, just like that. And I'm just going to go along the top and put a little V-gouge in the top, and then spin that around and do again on 3 or 4 sides. So I have my groove in there so the glue can come out. Now I'm just going to cut these down to size. Okay, so now before I do the glue up, I want to make sure that I have everything that I need for the glue up. So I have my glue, obviously. I have a paper towel to wipe up some drips if needed. I have my clamps over here. I have one clamp over here after I get the boards together to clamp them together. I have my cauls and I have my clamps for the cauls over here. The cauls are made out of oak, very thick, stout oak. And this is a tip for anyone that works by themselves, probably all of you. I like to tape up my caul like this so that when I have the boards together, all I have to do is put the caul over the top like that, and then I can get my clamp and put it on there. Makes it a lot easier. It's very difficult to put a clamp on while you're trying to hold two pieces of wood on either side of the board. So that's a little pro tip for you. Also, I didn't mention it before, but you should put a face mark on both boards so that you know that they're aligned on the same face, and also use the same face, excuse me, when you're marking your marks for the dowels so that they all line up. Because even though this jig is very accurate, it might be a hair off from the center. So if you have the boards flipped around, you're going to get a gap, or not a gap rather, they will be uneven. So we have all that. I'm going to get a hammer and we're going to knock in our dowels on one side of the piece first. And then tighten everything down real tight until you start to see that glue squeeze out. So you're getting a nice squeeze out. All along the board, which is perfect. That's what I want to see. And then just wipe the glue a little bit. Some people like to let this dry and take it off with a plane, but for me there's such a little bit that it's easier just to take this off now. And there you go. Leave that to dry overnight, and tomorrow it should be perfect. So that's how I glue up boards using my dowel jig. I hope that was useful, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.